Good afternoon. This is Paul Elgin from First Presbyterian Church. I planted some roses yesterday in our community garden. I was struck by how that now, in the middle of our coldest season, now is the time it is recommended to plant a flower as delicate as a rose bush. Well, I've told you about my roses here in the community garden, and I just did a second round of planting. This one's been in the ground for about a month, and you can see some brand new little red leaves coming in, which give me heart. I bought this bush the weekend that Orange Shepherd passed away, so I call it the Shepherd Rose. And of course we still have a pretty good plant going here. Even though it's been cold, we still have some buds on it, and it looks like it's going to make it through the winter. So I'm pleased about that. We had one that didn't quite make it, but I potted it because the roots still look good. So we'll see what comes of this. We're really excited to have a person coming in to help us with the community garden pretty soon. It's going to be a great experience, especially I think when we get the labyrinth completed. See, some of the Boy Scouts have done some of the work on that already. So I'm happy with our community garden and the fact that it's going to flourish this spring. I shall read to you from John chapter 11, starting at the first verse. Now a man named Lazarus was sick. He was from Bethany, the village of Mary and her sister Martha. This Mary, whose brother Lazarus now lay sick, was the same one who poured perfume on the Lord and wiped his feet with her hair. So the sisters sent word to Jesus, "Lord, the one you love is sick." When he heard this, Jesus said, "This sickness shall not end in death. No, it is for God's glory, so that God's Son may be glorified through it." Jesus loved Martha and her sister and Lazarus. Yet, when he heard that Lazarus was sick, he stayed where he was 2 more days. The word of the Lord. I was struck by how God does the same for us. When we least expect a warm moment in a distanced, cool, cruel, cold world, we will be surprised. As you can see in the video, our garden is not really flourishing at the moment, although there are some things still growing. The story finishes with Lazarus, of course, with him being called out of the tomb of death by Jesus, springing forth to new life. Seeds of Hope has received a grant to hire a person to work with us in the community garden. I can't wait to see what blossoms forth. Sometimes a garden has to have a winter before it can know spring. Libby Kelman, in her devotional Streams in the Desert, writes that this miraculous story begins with the following declaration: Jesus loved Martha and her sister and Lazarus. It is as if God were teaching us that at the very heart and foundation of all of his dealings with us, no matter how dark and mysterious they may be, we must dare to believe in and affirm his infinite, unmerited, and unchanging love. Yet, love permits pain to occur. Mary and Martha never doubted that Jesus would quickly avert every obstacle to keep their brother from death. Yet, when he heard that Lazarus was sick, he stayed where he was 2 more days. What a startling word, yet. Jesus refrained from going not because he did not love them, but because he did love them. It was his love alone that kept him from hurrying at once to their beloved yet grief-stricken home. Anything less than infinite love would have rushed instantly to the relief of those beloved and troubling hearts in an effort to end their grief, to have the blessing of wiping and stopping the flow of their tears, and to cause their sorrow and pain to flee. Only the power of divine love could have held back the spontaneity of the Savior's tender-heartedness until the angel of pain had finished its work. Who can estimate the great debt we owe to suffering and pain? If not for them, we would have little capacity for many of the great virtues of the Christian life. Where would our faith be if not for the trials that test it, or patience without anything to endure, or experience and without tribulations to develop it? She concludes with this poem. Loved, then the way will not be drear, for one we know is ever near, proving it to our hearts so clear that we are loved. Loved when our sky is clouded o'er, and the days of sorrow pass us sore. We will trust him evermore, for we are loved. Time, that affects all things below, can never change the love he'll show. The heart of Christ with love will flow, and we are loved. We are loved, my brothers and sisters, loved by God and loved by each other. May we show the love of Jesus Christ to all that we encounter today. God bless, and have a healthy, happy afternoon.